Sean Diddy Combs, a prominent figure in the music industry, was just arrested on serious federal charges, including violations of the Racketeer Influence and Corrupt Organizations Act, otherwise known as a RICO case, as well as trafficking. His arrest followed a grand jury indictment that claims that he operated a criminal enterprise for over a decade now. The allegations against Diddy paint a very disturbing photo of an empire that's built on not just music, but also on illegal activities such as trafficking, labor, unspeakable acts with many people, as confirmed by the amazing Not a Lawyer creator giving more detail.
According to the New York Times, Sean Combs, aka Diddy, was arrested after a grand jury indicted him. The indictment is sealed and the charges have not been announced yet, so we gonna have to wait and see for some docs to come out. But for now, it's been confirmed that Diddy is in federal custody. A statement from Diddy's legal team says that they were disappointed with the decision to prosecute Diddy and noted that he had been cooperative with the investigation and had voluntarily relocated to New York last week in anticipation of these charges. Diddy is a music icon, self-made entrepreneur, loving family man, and proven philanthropist who has spent the last 30 years building an empire, adoring his children, and working to uplift the Black community.
As she explains that Diddy gave himself up, living in a New York hotel, so if the feds ever wanted to arrest him, he was always nearby. This does make him seem confident that he will beat the case in the end. However, a report from a former Bad Boy artist would speak on Diddy's recent arrest, and he would go on to say that Diddy ruined his life.
When I was a 18-year-old kid, just wanting to do nothing other than make my mother proud and make Belize proud and do what all of us want to do, be recognized for our talent and take over the world. I was defending him and he turned around and called witnesses to testify against me, and he contributed. He pretty much sent me to prison. This was not someone who I vacationed with and who he and I enjoyed this great intimate relationship of brotherhood. This is someone who destroyed my life.
As moments after his arrest, his mansion would be raided. What they found went viral online as it would be announced. The Diddy indictment references what was seized during the raids at his homes in Beverly Hills and Miami. Various supplies including narcotics and more than 1,000 bottles of baby oil. They also seized firearms, including firearms with defaced serial numbers, where this photo would end up going viral. A mansion bathroom filled with baby oil bottles covering half of the floor. Making its rounds online, we would then see 50 Cent react saying, "I am keeping good company with the Barry Show and I don't have 1,000 bottles at the house," making the situation go crazy. Diddy's lawyer would then speak out saying, and I quote, Diddy's lawyer says he's expecting the unsealed indictment to have trafficking and racketeering charges, and he admits Diddy came to the New York police station to turn himself into cops on an agreeable time with the U.S. Attorney Office, but he got arrested unexpectedly. He says that he will push bail for Diddy, but the situation gets scarier from here. The RICO charges are especially significant here because they imply that Diddy was not acting alone, as he is the head of a larger, organized criminal operation. This enterprise allegedly used demands, targeting, and manipulation to go after millions of people across the world. Key accusations include parties labeled as freak-offs, where people would be pressured into certain activities, often under the influence of extracurricular items, and their actions will be filmed for leverage that Diddy would use to keep them quiet. Diddy is also accused of orchestrating interstate and international transportation of people. The RICO statute, originally designed to tackle organized crime, makes Diddy's situation even more concerning, as it allows prosecutors to target the broader network involved, as Diddy is facing 3 current charges, with them all being:
Count 1 is for racketeering conspiracy, and according to this website, for a racketeering conspiracy charge, the government does not have to prove that the alleged enterprise was actually established, only that you, along with others, conspired or agreed to participate in the enterprise. Count 2 is for trafficking by force, fraud, or and then count 3 is transportation to engage in
However, included in his indictment was a no bail agreement. Allegedly, this has only ever happened a handful of times against criminals in the United States. It's only brought out when the criminal does extreme level crimes.
Now, what has also been made public today is the detention memo, which is basically a letter from the government to the judge explaining why Diddy should be held in jail and not released on bond. It's about 16 pages, and there are a few things that I want to talk about from this letter. First up, it says that he's expected to appear in court today, and worth noting, this is a federal case, so don't expect any cameras. And the document says, as set forth below, there is no condition or combination of conditions that will reasonably assure the appearance of the defendant as required and the safety of others and the community, not to mention the integrity of the proceedings. So again, this letter is to basically argue why Diddy should be held in jail and not released to the public.
When only a few hours later, the judge would make his official announcement following Diddy's bail, ends up going viral online, and here's what he said.
Judge has decided that Sean Combs, aka Puff Daddy, aka Diddy, aka P. Diddy, aka PD, will remain detained, as in he gotta stay in jail until his trial. Now again, since federal cases are not streamed, there are some reporters in the courtroom that were providing updates on X, so that's who I'm going to use. Then the judge comes back and rules that in this case, I find the presumption has not been rebutted, so Sean Combs will remain detained. The judge goes on to say there has been significant violence and weapons around. Also, witnesses, even gentle coercion can be effective. The type of behavior we're talking about happens behind closed doors. I thank your family members for coming, but I cannot release him.
However, what gets more concerning in the Diddy RICO case is that this case could bring in multiple other individuals who played roles in Diddy's alleged criminal organization. Federal prosecutors have presented what they claim is overwhelming evidence, including testimony from people and extensive physical evidence that was seized during raids at Diddy's properties, as people involved claim that many major artists in the industry took part in Diddy's actions, from government officials, Jay-Z, Beyonce, Megan Thee Stallion, Birdman, and even allegedly LeBron James, who has mentioned on an IG Live that there is no party like a Diddy party. Diddy is one of the biggest names in the music industry, with many people signed to him, as well as having many business deals and arrangements with other artists. Leave a like if you think Diddy should spend the rest of his life in jail, and comment down below who you think is also involved.